Hello sports fans, welcome to Super Sports Central. Today we have Sports News episode 70. So we'll be covering the four major sports plus college football with the exception of the MLB because they're still in a lockout. Starting off with the NBA, Heat star Jimmy Butler suffered an ankle injury in the Heat's 115-108 loss to the Warriors. He is listed as day-to-day. Nets star Kyrie Irving is set to make a season debut tomorrow, Wednesday, against the Pacers. Cavaliers guard Ricky Rubio tore his ACL and will miss the remainder of the season. However, the Cavaliers did trade for Rajon Rondo from the Lakers, and in exchange, the Lakers receive Denzel Valentine. Bulls star DeMar DeRozan continues to look like the best offseason move from last offseason. He became the first player in NBA history to hit game-winning buzzer beaters on back-to-back days. And the best teams in the NBA are the Warriors 29-7, the Suns 28-8, and the Jazz 27-10. The worst teams, the Rockets 10-28, the Pistons 7-28, and the Magic 7-31. On to the NHL. The Winter Classic was played on New Year's Day, as it is every year. This year it was played at Target Field, which is home of the Minnesota Twins. And it was absolutely frigid when they played. At puck drop, it was negative 5.7 degrees, the coldest puck drop in NHL history, in any outdoor game. The Blues won the game by a final score of 6-4. Capitals' Alexander Ovechkin scored his 275th career power play goal, making him the all-time leader in power play goals scored, as the Capitals beat the Red Wings 3-1. Devils' Dougie Hamilton will be out with a broken jaw. There is no timetable for his return. Kraken Brandon Tanev will miss the remainder of the season with an ACL injury. And one of the best players in hockey, arguably the best player in hockey, Connor McDavid, tested positive for COVID-19. The best teams are the Rangers 22-8-4, the Capitals 26-8, and the Hurricanes 23-7-1. The worst teams, the Senators 9-18-2, the Canadiens 7-23-4, and the Coyotes 6-21-3. The MLB is still in a lockout, as I mentioned before. Onto the NFL. Browns Baker Mayfield will not play in the season finale next week against the Cincinnati Bengals. It's a pointless game for the Browns. They've been eliminated from playoff contention. And Baker Mayfield will undergo shoulder surgery soon to repair his injured left shoulder, which is his non-throwing shoulder. Giants quarterback Mike Glennon will miss Week 18 with a wrist injury. Jake Fromm will likely start for the Giants against the Washington football team. Derrick Henry is on track to practice on Wednesday. He's still extremely unlikely to play this week. I don't think the Titans should play him this week because I would prefer to have him at full strength for the playoffs rather than risking he were to not be 100% and re-injure himself in the season finale. Current Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh is open to returning to the NFL to coach the Raiders. And he led Michigan to a college football playoff berth and a Big Ten title. Rams running back Cam Akers, according to coach Sean McVay, is expected to play in some form or fashion this weekend against the 49ers. And Akers has missed the entire season with a torn Achilles, which he suffered in training camp. The Washington football team will announce their new team name February 2nd, and the Wolves and the Red Wolves have been ruled out as possible names due to other teams having trademarks with those two names. Buccaneers running back Leonard Fournette will likely be able to play in the playoffs. He's currently dealing with a hamstring injury. And more Buccaneers news. So this one is very bizarre. Antonio Brown left the game mid-game against the Jets on Sunday. It was very bizarre fashion that we may never see again. So He took off his jersey and his shoulder pads before throwing his undershirt and gloves into the stands and running into the tunnel and into the locker room. Buccaneers coach Bruce Arians said that Antonio Brown was no longer a Buccaneer in his post-game press conference. However, Antonio Brown has not been officially released and is still listed on the official roster. So why did Antonio Brown do that? So Bruce Arians and the offensive coaching staff told Brown to get into the game multiple times, and Brown refused to do so. So Arians told him to get out. Antonio Brown did not enter the game because he did not feel he was fully healthy, because he was dealing with an ankle injury and was listed as questionable for the game. He practiced limited on Wednesday and did not participate in practice Thursday and Friday before being listed in questionable as the game, or for questionable for the game. So a very bizarre sequence, and he was seen Monday night in Brooklyn for the Nets game. Cowboys wide receiver Michael Gallup suffered a torn ACL and will miss the remainder of the season. Jamar Chase had a historic game Sunday against the Chiefs, going for 266 yards and 3 touchdowns. 266 yards is a single-game record by a rookie. He also broke the record for rookie receiving yards set by Justin Jefferson last season. On to college football. The New Year's Six bowl games were played last weekend. The Peach Bowl, Michigan State beat Pitt 31-21. The Cotton Bowl and the Orange Bowl were the college football playoff semifinals. Both SEC teams easily won. Alabama beat Cincinnati 27-6, and Georgia dominated against Michigan 34-11. In the Fiesta Bowl, Oklahoma State overcame a 21-point deficit to defeat Notre Dame, spoiling head coach Marcus Freeman's head coaching debut. In the Rose Bowl, we had a great game. Ohio State beat Utah on a last-second field goal, 48-45. Ohio State quarterback C.J. Stroud threw for 573 yards and 6 touchdowns. And wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba, also for Ohio State, had 15 catches for 347 yards and 3 touchdowns. 347 yards by a receiver or by any player is the most receiving yards in a bowl game ever. And if C.J. Stroud was in the NFL and he threw for 573 yards, that would have been an NFL record. And Smith-Njigba's 347 yards also would have been an NFL record for most yards in a single game for both players. And the last New Year's Six bowl game, we have the Sugar Bowl. Baylor won 21-7. Ole Miss quarterback Matt Corral left the game with an ankle injury. Luckily for Corral, X-rays came back negative, and that is unlikely to hurt his draft stock for the upcoming NFL draft. Off the bowl games, Oklahoma star quarterback Caleb Williams has announced he's entered the transfer portal, but returning to Oklahoma is still an option. So now I think every school should go after Williams that doesn't have a quarterback named C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young. So meaning every school except Alabama or Ohio State. And Michigan edge rusher David Ojabo has declared for the NFL draft. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment. Comment where you think Caleb Williams will transfer, or where you think he should transfer. And I will see you Thursday for my weekly NFL predictions.